Hello there, folks, and welcome to the Campbell's Raceway. We are here for the Campbell's 400, and we are sure to be in for a great race. This race is taking place on a Daytona-shaped track. Although it is smaller and skinnier in portions, the racing style is generally the same. So let's take a look at the lineup. Matt Kenseth won the pole. Clint Bowyer is going to start on the outside. Jeff Gordon and Jamie McMurray are your row 2. Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson are row 3. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch are row 4, and Casey Kane and Joey Logano are your top 10. Dale Jr. is 11, followed by Paul Menard. Martin Truex Jr. and Kurt Busch are in the next row. Juan Pablo Montoya and Trevor Bayne are next, followed by Marcus Ambrose and Jeff Burton. Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle, and Brad Keselowski and Danica Patrick. So in the next row, we have Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte. They are followed by Ryan Newman and Brian Vickers. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Eric Almirola and Terry Labonte rounds out the last starting spot in the field. So we have some team changes for this race. Marcus Ambrose is coming in the 9 car. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in the 17. Matt Kenseth gets moved to the 20. Joey Logano then gets moved to the 22. And as previously mentioned, Terry Labonte is in the 32. And Kurt Busch is in the 78 car. So we'll see how they all do with their new teams. Matt Kenseth obviously won the pole with that new car there, and we'll see how they do in the end. So we are about ready to go, and they're off on their pace lap, and we will see how this turns out. So let's take a look at the Campbell's keys to the race. So first of all, don't lose the draft, and don't be too aggressive too early, and make sure you avoid the big one. That is the key. The big one often takes out half the field here at this racetrack, and you better not be in it. So they're about ready to go racing. Matt Kenseth and Clint Bowyer leading them up to the line. Here we go. Green flag is out, and Matt Kenseth takes the lead. He slides up to the outside in front of Clint Bowyer, and we are racing here at the Campbell's Motor Speedway. Matt Kenseth keeps his line going on the outside. We got 3 wide as Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Paul Menard make a move to the inside. It's 3 wide coming up to the first lap marker. Matt Kenseth is going to lead it, and they are 3 wide stacked up back there. Kyle Busch and Joey Logano push Kenseth out to a lead, and the yellow trio pulls up on the outside. They're the top 3 right now, but Menard has more backup in the middle. And, oh, we have a wreck. Marcus Ambrose upside down, cars spinning everywhere, and the rest of the field files past. And on the second lap, we have a caution. 8 cars involved in this wreck. Trevor Bayne, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Newman, Eric Almirola, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Tony Stewart, and Marcus Ambrose all involved. Let's take a look at what happened. Looks like Kurt just spins Marcus there. He gets up and flips over Tony Stewart, and then everyone else just gets caught up in it. And so I think we'll get one more look at it here. Ambrose just gets spun, gets air with all the momentum he has, and then Trevor Bayne just piles everyone into the wall because nowhere else for them to go. Eric Almirola gets stuck on Keselowski's bumper. And this is very early to have the big one. Normally it comes later in the race. So we'll see how this plays out. They're under red flag now, but they got it mostly cleaned up, so they're going for their pace lap as they all get restarted again, fire up the engines. They're making their way around the track, and they're going to line up double file. Matt Kenseth elects to take the outside lane, so Paul Menard will be behind him, Kyle Busch and Joey Logano on the inside. Whole field files by. Kenseth and Kyle leading the field to the restart. They're green again. They're still all tied up, and we have cars pitting. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Bobby Labonte, Greg Biffle, all in the pits. They were all involved in that wreck minorly, but they will all have minimal damage and be able to get racing again. As you see, the leader's coming around to take the next lap. Kenseth still has the lead with Menard, and here comes Casey Kane in the middle. Kyle Busch is falling back on the inside. Kane takes the lead from Kenseth, and the lap traffic getting in the way. Bobby Labonte and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. get stuck in the middle. Matt Kenseth and Casey Kane now, side by side, battling for the lead. Paul Menard and Kyle Busch coming, and as they help draft. Oh, we have another wreck. Kyle Busch is spun into the grass. He comes back down on the track, hits Clint Bowyer. McMurray involved. Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson both go around. Paul Menard has damage in a flat left front tire there. Let's take a look at what happened. Either Gordon gets into Menard or Menard just gets loose. He gets into Kyle. That's where he pops the tire. Logano and Gordon manage to get around, but then Kyle just drifts back onto the racetrack, collecting Bowyer. Denny spins Jimmy, nowhere for them to go, and McMurray completely trapped against the wall. Not how the race was supposed to end for any of these drivers. Greg Biffle still getting work done in the pits, while Jimmy Johnson is now joining him, and Paul Menard fixing that tire and taping up the front of the car where it got all torn up. He's going to try to stay on the lead lap here and get back in the pack. So they're warming up. We will only have a few laps to go now, 3 laps to go when they hit the checkered stripe. So Matt Kenseth brings them to the line. Joey Logano and Casey Kane right behind. Jimmy Johnson, the lap traffic, coming out. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way. And Matt Kenseth continues to lead. Here comes Harvick and Truex Jr. on the outside. We haven't talked about them all day, but now here they are at the front at the end. And so we have 2 laps to go now when they hit the line. Kenseth right in front of Harvick. They are neck and neck. Everyone drafting in a tight pack. Matt Kenseth here, an onboard camera as he goes around the turn. He continues to lead as they pass Biffle and lap him again. Kenseth still maintains that lead over Harvick. It's never been more than a car length, and it doesn't look like it's going to be. It's really tight here still. We're on the last lap now. Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano on the inside. And Truex gets loose, gets into the wall. We have 3 cars out front. No one drafting. Here comes Junior and Vickers drafting behind. Harvick's trying to pass Kenseth. He passes him. Kenseth gets back in front. Junior spins Kenseth into the wall. And I have no idea who won. It was too close to call. Kenseth looked like he'd come back and taken it. But then all of a sudden, Harvick comes back and Junior spins Kenseth into the wall. It's really close. Let's take a look at it here. As you see, Kenseth hits the wall, and there's your look at it. Kenseth wins by a hair, and that's just a very small margin. Kenseth is really lucky to hang on. He has his burnout. Matt Kenseth wins it at the Campbell's Motor Speedway. A great race from Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Brian Vickers, and Joey Logano, who are your top 5. A bunch of other great runs today. Danica Patrick 8th, Terry Labonte 9th, both great finishes starting back in the 20s. A bunch of DNFs on the last lap, and a couple lap cars finish as well. Denny Hamlin involved in that wreck earlier. And then in 24th, Marcus Ambrose, who had the horrible flip on the second lap. And Trevor Bayne is going to finish last today. He ended up at furthest back on that crash on the first lap. Many cars taken out there. So Matt Kenseth wins it at the Campbell's Motor Speedway. What a race.